come on around. Thank you so much for being here. We were wondering if it would rain. It hasn't, but now it's a little warm, but maybe the clouds and the rain will coincide. Okay, so that we can get through this and welcome you with the weather helping us out. I'll recognize Mark Garrison, our society president, to give a welcome.
Thank you, Rosemary. What a beautiful day the Lord has blessed us with today. Good day, everyone. My name is Mark Garrison, and on behalf of the Travelers Rest Historical Society, it is my honor to welcome you to the dedication of the Spring Park Inn and to our new state historical marker. This moment has been a long time coming, and it is the result of hard work, dedication, and a shared love of our community's history. I want to extend my gratitude to the board members of the Historical Society, our committee chairs, committee members, docents, and every single volunteer who have poured their time and effort into making today possible. All of their efforts have truly brought this vision to life. I want to express our gratitude to the city officials, the outstanding public works staff, and their incredible support. Their commitment has been vital, and we're thrilled to have their support as we continue to bring more elements of this project forward. Additionally, we owe a special thank you to Kyle Campbell with Preservation South for his attention to detail in the restoration of the inn, and to Jason Smith with Arbor Land Design for his invaluable help with the design plans. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this important day in our town's history. And now it's my honor to introduce past president Rosemary Bomar, who will share some additional remarks.
Thank you, Mark. As Mark said, welcome. We're glad you're here. We're here today, as he said, to recognize the Spring Park Inn and a state historical marker that's placed in front. There's info on the back of your program, so I won't go into all that tells more about the history of the house, and you can learn more later in the weeks and months to come from all the restored rooms, the historical panels, and the exhibit rooms that are inside. We recognize all the families who've lived and worked here and that are connected with the property. Some of their descendants are here with us today. And after the program, some of the family members of those associated with the house will later move to the side porch for some special photos. But Miss Gibson knew and was so proud of the heritage of this place. She knew how it grew to be a central gathering spot in the center of the community, providing lodging, meals, a post office, a railroad stop, a school before there were public schools, land donated for the Methodist Church. I could go on and on and on, but that's enough for now. And today we celebrate that it's here and it's been preserved and protected for the future and can again be a focal point of the community. We dedicate this to the hope and dream of Nell Anderson Gibson. We as a historical society have been profoundly blessed to have received the gift of this property, its home, its furnishings, the funds for restoration, and the memories that come with it. I heard from Nell stories of the home's heritage and her love of this property, and the desire for it to continue to be a vital and living part of Travelers Rest after she was no longer here. She was so thrilled to be able to share it. We feel humbled and honored by her request to protect this place and to continue sharing its story into the future. We're happy to see young people here today who can hear about this and remember this day many years to come. We can't all donate a home, but we can all have a part in carrying on this legacy. Councilman Steve Shaw heard from one of our members that we were looking to fund a historical marker. and suggested that a marker is the type of expenditure that could be covered by his annual allotment for targeted public projects. So Councilman Shaw followed up, and Greenville County Council approved his request to cover the full cost of manufacturing this marker. That was wonderful. We're grateful for the city public works employees who put it in place. And going forward, it's going to take the talents of everyone, large and small. We've been sort of low-key about everything happening up to now. So much was happening behind the scenes. But now is the time to enlist funds and people, all of you, however you can help, to ensure this place continues to be something the community can enjoy and be proud of well into the future. We've all had to be patient during this time of restoration, too. Just as it took years to come to this day, it will take time as it opens for everyone to be able to visit. So we'll still be patient. Plans are, and Deanna, make sure I have the right information, for a pre-opening next weekend for members of the society and for the public later in September. So we continue to be patient. Even though the home is large and there's lots to see, the rooms are small. So it will take a while to welcome all the people, because a lot of people can't fit inside at one time. But if you would like to see even more quickly, though, you can talk to Deanna or Dot or Nancy or any of our other society members, Mark back here, about volunteering, being a docent or a tour leader, or helping in other ways that we can continue the legacy of this house. Now, Edwin can tell us a little bit more about the marker process. Through his research, we learned even more about the history of the home and property and those that lived here. And then Brandy will bring us some words from the city before we unveil the marker.
Good afternoon. My name is Edwin Breeden, and I'm here from the South Carolina Department of Archives and History, where I serve as the coordinator for the State Historical Marker Program. So it was my pleasure to work with Ms. Bomar and the Historical Society on this project, and I deeply appreciated their invitation to join you all here today to help celebrate this latest addition to our program. To give you some background on the State Marker Program, our program was established in 1936, so we've been in business for almost 90 years now. And during that time, our agency has approved just over 2,000 of these historical markers, which can be found in every county of the state. Now, our office, we oversee this program, we approve all new markers, but pretty much any state marker that you see along the side of the road here in South Carolina, it was originally proposed, it was funded, it was installed, and it's being maintained not by us, but by local sponsoring organizations. Groups all across the state who really do the lion's share of work that goes into making one of these markers a reality. And so it's these local sponsors that drive our program and really make it what it is. And ultimately, it's their efforts to determine how fully we're able to accomplish the program's mission, which is to teach people about South Carolina history through its historic places. And so our agency, we are in constant debt to groups all across the state for seeing value in our program and choosing to participate in it. Now today, we are of course specifically grateful to the Travelers Rest Historical Society for all of their work on this latest marker here at the Spring Park Inn. Our office, we oversee a couple of different programs that are designed either to aid local preservation efforts or to help teach people about historic places. The marker program is a little bit different in that we are really just interested in the story of that place. Eligibility for a state marker, it doesn't hinge on whether or not a place is still standing or still in any way resembles what it did whenever it was historic. So we have lots of markers around the state that part of their value is because they are the only physical testament of that site to the history that unfolded there. However, it's always very exciting whenever we are able to approve a marker at a place for which that is not the case, such as the Spring Park Inn. And so we are extremely grateful not only to have this marker here, but to have the Spring Park Inn here. We feel fortunate both for South Carolina and for Travelers Rest specifically that this treasure still remains here and is being kept up for generations to come and learn about the history of this place and its story as a place of hospitality, but also about the early history of Travelers Rest. And so it's our privilege to be able to help y'all tell that story through this marker. And so on behalf of the Department of Archives and History, I want to thank the Travelers Rest Historical Society for bringing attention to an important piece of Travelers Rest history, but also an important piece of South Carolina's history. So thank you all very much.
Well, afternoon again. I'm Mayor Brandy Avedon, and thank you guys so much for coming out. I know you cut short your Sunday afternoon nap for this, and so we very much appreciate everyone being out here. We have Shanice Chris, Sherry Mara, who's also on City Council. We have our representative of the House, Mike Burns, and Steve Shaw here. We are so excited about this house. In every city, there's certain places that are sacred. And this house has always been a spot. If you grew up here, you probably, walked past it. You just remember there was something special about it. And because of Miss Gibson's very generous gift to the City of Travelers Rest and the Historical Society, we get to see it forever. And so having the state here in this marker is such a special way for us to preserve that legacy, tell the story of the family that live here, the families that lived here, but also the City of Travelers Rest. I was thinking about dedicating a house and what does that mean? And it kind of reminded me when you're at church and you have a baby dedication and the pastor says, all right, it's all of your responsibility to care for this baby, right? And so I thought today we'd be like, okay, we're dedicating this house. It is our responsibility to take care of this home and the property that comes along with it so we can preserve that history and tell the story for future generations. And so it sounds like you guys are signing up for that job, and I'm excited that the city can also play a part in that as well. It sounds like Mark and I are going to be the unveilers for the display. Mark, where's he at? Oh, all the way over here. So if you guys want to turn around, we can do a ta-da moment. Mark?
Mark is ready to do that, and then go right ahead, Mark, and you can walk down there then. The front part of the marker faces the street. There's other information on the back. So thank you so much. And in about 10 minutes, the family members can come over to the side. But go right ahead and look at the marker.